as soon as we possibly can. Please stay on the line. We're here to offer you emotional support, whatever you're going through. We're putting you through to a volunteer now.
Hello, Samaritans.
Hello, my name is Howie.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can. I didn't catch your name though. I'm so sorry.
Howie.
Howie. Hello, Howie. What's on your mind today, Howie?
I'm struggling to get my wheelchair repaired.
Oh gosh. Okay. How long have you been trying?
21 years.
That's a long time, Howie. How have you been coping with it?
It's very difficult because a lot of the time the wheelchair services discriminate against people who are disabled, even though when people say disabled access, they imagine a wheelchair ramp. So if you say to the wheelchair service, you don't have disabled access, they will say, well, we've got a wheelchair ramp. But if disabled access means that you have a brain injury and therefore you can't communicate with the wheelchair service, disabled access is not a wheelchair ramp. It's a different kind of adjustment that they should communicate better. Also, that's disabled access in my own language, which is called English. Imagine if I have to get disabled access in somebody else's language. That's much more difficult.
How does that leave you feeling, Howie?
Pardon?
How does it leave you feeling when you're struggling to get this
the
access that you need?
I'm in very severe pain.
Physical pain?
Yes, because my wheelchair's broken, and when I try to push it, I'm in a lot of pain.
How does it affect you? I mean, I imagine that it means that it's more difficult for you to get around and about.
I think the correct way to describe my feelings are that I go to the police and tell them that the wheelchair service doesn't have disabled access. And then the police start laughing at me and throw me out the police station. And then I take my smartphone and throw it in their eyes. Then they take their guns and shoot me dead. That's how I feel.
Sounds like you feel like it makes it very difficult for you to continue.
Yes, because people with brain injuries can't sue the wheelchair service for not having disabled access, because going to court to get disabled access. The courts themselves don't have disabled access. So I think and the police don't have disabled access. So it's better they just kill disabled people.
That sounds like a lot of frustration coming out, Howie.
I
Do you
went.
really want to die? Or
I want disabled access. Do you understand it? Let me spell it. DISABLED. That's the first of the two words. And the second word is called access. And that is spelled ACCESS. That's what I want. And because there is no disabled access anywhere for anything, that is why they should just kill disabled people. The disabled people are better off dead.
what's wrong that you're facing this?
Yes. Imagine you go to the doctor because the wheelchair service hasn't repaired your wheelchair in how many years? I'm trying to count. I think it was about 5 years. And instead of the doctor providing disabled access to the wheelchair service, he has your children taken away and deported to a country where they've got no family, where they are left homeless. And as a disabled person who is banned by Parliament from instructing a lawyer, the lawyer that I thought that I was instructing, who was in fact being instructed by the official solicitor, says, "Get out of my land, you filthy disabled piece of turd. Get out of my land, you piece of dirt. Your child.
Can I ask?
We have had your child deported. You go and live in some foreign land with your child, but don't come to our beautiful, clean, pure, without disabled people land, because we don't want your type in here."
When you're talking about children, are these your children that have been deported?
Yes, that's right. My children have been deported because there is no disabled access for me to look after my children. So they had my children thrown out.
Tell me about your children. Are you in when was the last time you had contact with them?
I don't know, maybe a month ago or longer, I can't remember.
How old are they?
Between the ages of 2 and 45. Do you know how difficult it is to try and get disabled access if you're brain injured? And then, on top of that, your government tells you to go and get disabled access in a foreign country. It's impossible. It's completely impossible.
So what do you hope to do
Pardon?
about it? What do you hope to do today, Howie?
I was trying to write a letter to the GP. The GP I went to see this week. The GP was like, how can I put it? I need something.
You need something.
And I need an MRI scan. Because an MRI scan can determine whether I should receive psychological treatment or pharmaceutical treatment. As the psychological treatment just says to me, fuck off and die. Sorry to put it that rudely.
Yeah.
And it's not helping. And so the GP said I should get my MRI scan from the Court of Protection, which is completely stupid because everybody knows the Court of Protection is not part of the NHS. So why should they provide MRI scans? And on top of that, the Court of Protection has no disabled access.
Are you under the Court of Protection?
No, I'm not under the Court of Protection. What does that even mean, under the Court of Protection? What does that mean?
Are you under a is your support being managed by them?
What support? What, not having my wheelchair repaired? Is that the support you're talking about? Not having my wheelchair repaired? That's not support, that's the opposite of support.
Who else is around you, Harry? Have you got other people around you to support you?
Like what?
Family, other friends?
My mother cooks my food and washes my clothes.
What's your relationship like with your mother?
She washes my clothes and cooks food.
Okay. Your wheelchair being damaged in the way that it is, are you able to get out and about at all?
Yes, but it's very painful. It hurts so much.
Sorry.
Yes. It's very painful, and that's why the wheelchair has to be repaired. But I can't get it repaired because I have a brain injury. I can't communicate, and the wheelchair services don't have disabled access.
Do you have anyone in the world who advocates for you, Harry, like a social worker or anything?
I can't be advocated for because social workers don't have disabled access. And advocates don't have disabled access. Advocates are 180 degrees the opposite of disabled access. Social workers are 180 degrees the opposite of social workers. Because social workers don't even know what a guardian is. So they're not fit to practice. I mean, do you know how many social workers I've reported to fitness practice investigations? Dozens of these people. They're not accountable. Because the regulators don't have disabled access themselves.
What were your plans for today, Harry?
I was trying to write a letter to the GP under 4 headings. 1, I need a letter from the Department of Work and Pensions. 2, I need an MRI scan.
Yeah.
3, I need a wheelchair referral. And 4, my guardian requires training.
And will your GP be able to help you with those things?
I doubt it, because they agreed to the wheelchair referral. They agreed to the letter to the DWP. But when I tried to talk about the MRI scan, I had a seizure. And therefore, I ended up leaving the surgery without the letter for the DWP.
Yeah. Do you have seizures often, Harry?
Yes, I have them all the time.
Do they frighten you or anything when you have them?
Pardon?
Does it frighten you when you have a
It frightens other people.
Okay.
Quite
They
often,
don't know how to deal with it.
people can often gang up on me,
Oh gosh.
especially more dangerous on public transport when you can't escape. Public transport is very dangerous for someone like me.
Yeah. Do you think you managed to finish your letter today, Harry?
I don't know, I've got my notes, that's all. But I'm just wanted to say that what was it? It was something. I'm struggling to remember my phone. I know it was because my wheelchair is not repaired, and I can't get through on the phone to the wheelchair service.
Yeah.
I think the whole referral process is not good because they've made the referral before. The GP made the referral. I read my notes.
Still there, Harry?
Yeah, I can't read my notes is the problem.
Okay.
2022.
Oh gosh, that's a long time ago. So you're going to get a new referral.
This is the whole point. Even if they make a referral, the referral doesn't work because nobody contacts me. Because the referrals are not done in a way that's got disabled access. And also, it's very difficult to understand who I have to communicate with. Because having a brain injury, I cannot tell the difference between Guy's Hospital and St. Thomas's Hospital.
Do you access different services in each of them?
Pardon?
Do you get referred to both of those?
I don't know. I'm brain injured. My brain injury means I cannot tell the difference between proper nouns. So I don't know the difference between Guy's Hospital and St. Thomas's Hospital.
Okay.
Because I can't tell one from the other. It might sound very obvious to somebody like you. Guy is Guy and Thomas is Thomas. How can anybody not know the difference? But I'm brain injured and I cannot tell the difference between one and the other. Proper nouns, they are not placeholders. They don't, what's the word? They don't register in my brain as placeholders as they would for somebody else.
Okay.
So I don't know which hospital to go to. I know where St. Thomas's is. I know where Guy's is. And I know one is by Westminster Bridge.
Yeah.
And one I think is near London Bridge or something like that. But which one is by which bridge, I can't tell.
Yeah.
Because they're names, and I struggle with names as placeholders.
Yeah.
And I've been writing to these hospitals for many years, and they keep blaming each other. It's like the wheelchair service is provided by Guy's Hospital. But if you're trying to get information, you have to go to St. Thomas's. Then St. Thomas's say, oh, we don't provide a wheelchair service. We haven't got that information. And then you say to them, well, Guy's Hospital has told me that indeed they do provide the wheelchair service, yet if I want information, I have to go to St. Thomas's. And St. Thomas's say, well, we don't know anything about it because we don't provide a wheelchair service. And then you never get any information.
No, you're going around the houses, aren't you?
Do you see the difficulty?
Yeah.
If that's what happens when hospitals farm out their services, such as information services, to another hospital. It's so bad, I even end up as a criminal being prosecuted.
You do?
Yes, because my wheelchair is in such bad condition. It attracts the attention of the police, and I end up with a criminal record. So my disability makes me a criminal. Hello?
Hello, are you still there?
I'm here.
What will you do after we finish speaking, Harry?
I don't know. I'm just worried about my brother.
Your brother?
Yeah.
Tell me what worries you about him.
No, I mean, he was supposed to be looking after my children, and he can't do the job.
Okay.
Where
are your children?
I don't know where my children are. The government took them and deported them
Where did they deport them to?
to another country. They didn't deport them into Britain. They deported them out of Britain to probably to France, but they won't tell me where they sent them.
Okay.
Look, I'm very worried about my brother.
Tell me more.
No, I won't tell you more. I'm just saying I'm worried about him. because it's private, okay? I can't breach his data privacy.
That's fair enough.
I just worried because I was relying on my brother for certain things, and he can't do those things. So it means that I've got more things to do.
Okay.
You know, I just wish I could just help other people more, and I can't.
Yeah. Who is it you'd like to help if you could?
Everybody,
Okay.
especially my guardian.
Yeah. Who is your guardian?
My guardian is Jay. There, it's because my brain doesn't work, and therefore I have to have a dual body identity. So part of my brain function is carried out inside the brain of another human being.
You find that helpful, or is that hard for you?
It's very difficult because the doctors tell me that I should isolate myself. But when I...
Isolate yourself?
Pardon?
That you should isolate yourself?
Yeah, I shouldn't have contact with people because it causes me to have seizures.
Oh, gosh.
Yes, I have to have a guardian. Otherwise, I can't get my children back.
Do you have much contact with Jay, your guardian?
I used to, but they disappeared on the 4th of June this year, 2025.
Okay.
And that's a big problem for me. When I try to talk to them, I paid for their driving lessons.
Did you?
Yeah, there's a problem with their driving license. And I keep telling them to get that sorted, and they say they're too busy because they're very poor and they have to work. I really can't cope at all. I can't communicate with this person how important it is to have a driving license, and they just keep messing it up the whole time. I can't. And when I try to speak to them about it, they just respond with anger.
Sounds like it's stressing you out as well.
I don't know how to deal with this. My guardian needs a driving license. Because I can't travel backwards and forwards like this the whole time. They need to have a car.
Yeah.
So they can pick me up and take me places. I just can't physically cope.
Sounds like it's put a huge strain on you, Harry.
Do you know what? When I had my hospital operation that went wrong, and I explained that I was struggling to get my wife through the driving test because of my loss of mobility, the hospital gave me £100 to pay for her driving lessons, and my wife still abandoned me. Should I write to the hospital and say they should give £100 to my guardian? I would say to them that it hasn't helped at all, the £100 you gave. I just...
What are you going to... Go on.
I just feel that the health system is completely inaccessible. It's because if you're brain injured, you don't exist. You're reliant upon too many people who themselves are incompetent. Like my brother didn't look after my children properly. I don't know what to do.
No. What do you think you want to do?
I would like to deal with the pain somehow. If you go to the NHS, all they say, oh, here's some drugs. Let me dope you out of your eyeballs. But they won't do any proper exam to find out what's causing the pain. That's the problem.
Yeah.
They just want to give people dope.
Harry, what are you going to do when we finish speaking?
I don't know. I'm supposed to write to the GP and the hospital, but I just feel that these people are not going to pay any attention.
Is that what's preventing you from writing? Actually, that you don't feel like it?
But I've written thousands of letters to people in the healthcare service. They never respond. It's just like they make you feel like you're wasting your time.
Yeah.
I don't really know how to describe it. You've done an operation on my leg. I can no longer mobilize. I'm in severe pain. It's caused my children to be abducted. All you did was give me £100. It's not helped. I cannot. You say I have to go to the local wheelchair service. I can't communicate with them. They don't have disabled access. They've not provided me with a service for 15 years. And in the 6 years before that, they still didn't provide me with a wheelchair that worked. I don't know what to do. I can just keep repeating myself to these people, yet it has no effect. And you try to then report them to some higher authority, but it's so vague who that is. There's the HCPC, and there's the GMC, and the PHSO, and the CQC, and all of these organizations, but it's not clear who's really in charge. There seems to be nobody in charge. You know, I'm really tired of writing letters to people who then respond by ignoring you.
Harry, nothing I say is going to really make a difference in terms of changing things. I wonder what we can do to try and help you to kind of keep going today.
Well, I've got my list of the 4 issues that the GP didn't cover. My issue is trying. It is the problem is I've written to the GP before. They just ignore me. They made the referral in 2022, 3 years ago. Nobody came back to me. The problem is that if you are disabled with a brain injury, you might as well not exist, because the whole system is designed to marginalize people who are disabled. Did the GP, after the GP made the referral in 2022, did they come back to me and ask me, have you got your wheelchair fixed yet? No, they didn't. They just make the referral and then completely forget about me. That's not a referral. I want to know what really is a referral that's got disabled access attached to it. Because it can't just be, oh, we send a referral and forget about you, because that isn't disabled access. Because that's what's going to happen. They'll make the referral and then nobody will contact me.
Do you express your frustration to your GP about how things could move forward?
What frustration? I told the GP last week when I went there, I need a referral. He said, we made one in 2022. Yet the fact that a brain-injured person has been left for 3 years without the wheelchair being properly sorted out, it didn't even register in the doctor's mind that this is a complete and utter outrage. He just made another referral. What the fuck is wrong with this idiot? Sorry about my language.
Don't worry.
What I'm trying to say is the doctors themselves just, they seem, what is it about a doctor who has a brain-injured patient, who has children to look after, who can't look after the children because they can't mobilize, finds out that their patient's referral 3 years ago for a wheelchair has achieved nothing, and then acts in the most complete blank way possible? Is that not questionable? And do you know what will happen if I refer the GP to the General Medical Council? I will get banned from the surgery. Do you see how the whole system just doesn't work? The General Medical Council will, what's the way? I mean, the General Medical Council must just hate people. They just must hate the British people. To treat people like this. To discourage people reporting GPs that are not fit to practice. Do you see the problem? You see, the whole system doesn't work. There is nobody to report these people to because people are scared of reprisals. That's why the health service doesn't work. Because there's no accountability. There's just a bunch of vengeful so-called ombuds people or regulators. That's why there's so many. That's why doctors can be unfit to practice. That's why children can be taken away from their families and abused.
want to try and take some time, maybe have a go at writing some of that letter?
I don't know. Maybe. But thanks anyway for speaking with me. I'm really sorry to disturb you.
No, you haven't disturbed us. Exactly what we're here for.
I just don't know how to approach writing to people who are just, I don't know, don't take on board the issues.
Yeah.
There's no resources. They don't know there's no resources, and there's no accountability. And if you try to if you try to find accountability, you'll be penalized for it. Thank you for speaking with me.
You're welcome. Take care.
Bye-bye.